Hello friends, it's Chromatic Sauce and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be watching myself tattoo the line work and the shading for my sunflowers with a butterfly. I don't really have a title for this one. I don't know if I'll come up with something a little bit more clever than sunflowers with butterfly, but maybe not. Anyway, before we hop into it, I'm going to say don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what types of videos you'd like to see next. I've been filming most of my bigger tattoos, or I don't know. I've been filming tattoos if my client says they'll let me film it, if it works out in my schedule that day. So definitely subscribe if you want to see more tattoos, and let me know what types of videos you'd like to see in terms of what would you like me to talk about maybe. I don't know if I necessarily want to give a tutorial, but you know the deal. And check out my other tattoos in my playlists. Anyway, let's get into the video. Okay, so I, once again, don't fully remember. I've been filming too many videos. I don't know all that I've done, to be honest. But I think for the thicker lines, there's not really a huge difference. This tattoo is not really neo-traditional necessarily. It's a little bit more towards realism, so I didn't want to go for a really bold fat line for the outside, but I still wanted there to be a bold enough line to stand out. Now this is pretty big on her, it's on the side of her calf. I was gonna say thigh. I completely forgot that I was touching her calf all day yesterday. So her lower leg, and I'm sorry about the angle. Sorry if my head's in the way a lot for this one. I was really struggling with the angle for this one just because it was so far on the side of her leg. It wasn't facing forward, so if she was sitting regular, it was okay for me to tattoo for most of it, but then most of the tattoo wasn't fully visible for the angle. I don't know, I struggled with the placement of the camera and my head being in the way, so I'm sorry if you're missing out, but the color version of this video is definitely a lot better. My head's way less in the way, and the focal point stays the focal point for a lot longer. So definitely, if this is a struggle for you, if you're just man, I can't even see the tattoo half the time, definitely stay tuned for the color one. I think you'll have a better time with that one, but I feel you can still see the process of me tattooing it. And I feel the real time might be a little bit more frustrating, the way it goes out of focus to focus on my ear. But I think this will be okay because it only goes out of focus for a second because it's sped up so fast. But anyway, like I was saying, the thicker lines, they're not crazy thick. I used a bug pin 9-round liner just to give it a little bit more of a substantial, bolder line than super fine line. I didn't want it to be a wash line. I wanted it to be a sturdy line. I wanted it to be line work. I wanted it to be black, but didn't necessarily want it super thin but not bold. So I landed on bug pin 9-round liner, and then I think I also used a bug pin 5-round liner for the butterfly and the details in that. But I think I only used the bug pin 9-round liner for the hexagons and for the sunflowers and everything in the middle of the sunflower that had line work. And then you'll see eventually when I get into the shading in this video, whenever I just did a light application of just stipple shading just to get a little bit of depth in there before I hopped in with color. I don't think I used the mag for this one to really deepen up that black, but it should sort of come to the forefront as it heals and stuff. Because you can't fully see all the stipples whenever I'm done today, but I know it'll develop and settle in. I always like to see it come back and touch it up if we need. But I did the outlines, and I lined all the little things the texture on the inside, and then what did I do? And then I just stippled just to give a little bit of depth, but I feel it wasn't fully realism. I don't know. I was going for something else. I designed this one a long time ago. This is this was a really ambitious design whenever I first designed it. I feel I must have did it a couple years ago that I designed it, because this is the type of design that I really wanted to do whenever I started getting into tattooing. So maybe if I did it back then, maybe it was a little too ambitious for me. Maybe, I don't know if it could have turned out this good. I definitely don't think I could have finished it in one session. I actually finished this in 5.5 hours, so not bad. I think that's the total like tattoo time. There was breaks and stuff. But in general, for the active tattoo time, it was about 5.5 hours. So I was like pretty impressed with how big, like, picture like printed on a regular 8x11 piece of paper. It pretty much filled the sheet. So like it was a pretty big tattoo. I think I've said recently, I feel like I've gotten a lot faster at tattooing. You know, sometimes in the past for bigger tattoos, I would struggle, maybe not necessarily with the details so much as like, maybe I would get caught up in the details. I would struggle because I was taking my time so much to make sure it was precise. Like basically I was moving slow because I didn't have like the confidence to go as fast as I can now, at least. I definitely still lack confidence. I'm always like the first one to like talk down about myself and my artwork and my tattoos. Even though I have no reason to, like no one's really telling me like, oh, this sucks, but it's always like in your head, like I'm not good enough. Like I feel like any artist does this too. Any artist who really cares, after a tattoo, you step back and you're like, what could I have done better? I always want to improve. You know, I've only been doing this for like I guess we're getting towards like 3.5 years, especially by the time this video is posted. Because when did I start? I did my first official tattoo, I think November 2021. Oh my gosh, so that makes it seem like, no, because it's 2025, but it's the beginning, so it's like, we're past 3 years, going towards, no, now I'm confused. Let's just say 3.5 years, because this doesn't make any sense. Yeah, because it would have been 2022 when I was like starting a lot of free tattoos, because I was only doing one tattoo a week at the beginning. And then I did, so 2022 to 2024 is 2 years. Okay, so that makes sense. So it is like 3.5 years. Oh my gosh, sometimes years confuse me. I'm just confused all the time, so it's all good. But yeah, I've only been tattooing like a certain amount of time, so like at this point there's a huge opportunity for growth. Even still, like every time I do a tattoo, I come back and then, sometimes I'm usually, I'm putting my foot in my mouth. I'm always like generally pleased. My clients are, most of the time, maybe there's been a couple times here and there where there was a miscommunication where they like told me the wrong date or something, and then I'm just like, I had no way to verify this because you told me the wrong date. But that has luckily only happened like a couple times where like someone was like, this isn't even right. But in general, I'm happy with the tattoo when the client leaves, but I'll look and be like, what could I have done better? I always want to do better. I'm just rambling on and on. But yeah, so for this one, it was maybe like a little ambitious for me back then whenever I drew it. So while I wish I did it earlier, like who knows where I would be now if I was doing stuff like this from the beginning. I think the tattoo probably is a little more successful now than if I tried to do it back then. I still think it would have turned out good back then, but I definitely think I've acquired some more skills. Even in the past few months, I feel like I've gotten a lot better at color. I've definitely grown more of a technique instead of like questioning everything. I'm not questioning everything so much. It's just like a matter of finding myself a little bit more and like, just getting more confidence and like just doing it more. You get better when you do things more. So definitely glad I got to do this, and I would love to do more. Anything shiny, sparkly, the twinkles, so cute. You don't see it yet, but you'll see it in the next video. Oh, so cute. I don't even have a butterfly tattoo, but I guess I like to tattoo butterflies, like especially with flowers. I think it's so pretty. It's like a delicate touch. And I feel like every year, this might be my sunflower tattoo of this year. I don't know, but I feel like every year I get another sunflower tattoo that I'm like, this is like one of my favorite tattoos that I've done. Like this is like this is like, wow, like I impressed myself with it. Like I remember even when I was doing free tattoos, I think someone's banging downstairs. But even when I was doing free tattoos, there was a tattoo that had a sunflower, and I was like, this is so cool. Like, I feel like I actually know what I'm doing. And then moving on to the next year, like I did a little bit bigger piece, but it was kind of similar. But this is cool because this is the first, I don't know if it's my first color sunflower, but it's my first like bigger color sunflower at the very least. As far as I remember, this is the first one where I definitely had more of a creative freedom and more of my way with this. Like I said, this was like a pre-drawn design. But yeah, we're finishing up here. So you can see right now I'm doing the black stipple shading. I'm going into wherever my darkest colors would be. And I'm just stipple shading, like I said. And then for the butterfly, I didn't use a round shader. I literally just used the bug pin fiber liner to outline the whole thing. I just outlined it. I wasn't going for like realism for any part of it, but like the shading was maybe realistic, more realistic. I feel like this would maybe be more considered of what I would consider my style and what I would like to do. I like the shapes, like I got hexagons on me. I like the geometric thing, but like a little bit weird, a little quirkier, not just like sacred geometry kind of thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, and then for the butterfly, like I said, I just stippled the black in just to fill the gaps. And like, I struggled to like wipe away the stencil so I could actually see what I was doing. But I figured I could go back into it. I think I did go back and touch a little spots with black again just to make sure it was solid. But that's it for this video. That's it for the line work and the black shading, just to give it a solid base. You know, that solid little skeleton that I always talk about. The skeleton thing is not quite as important when you have the line work. Like, the line work's going to keep the shape. I definitely had a fun time with this one. Definitely come back for the color in the next video. There's actually going to be 2 videos. There's going to be 2 talk-through videos with the color, just because this video is my longest video. This video is my longest tattoo that I have filmed, where I filmed the actual full process. Like the peony video, I didn't film the entire process. And even the like roasted marshmallow, that didn't even take that long. But I didn't even film the black shading for this. But this, I have everything start to finish, even if my ear's in the way for parts of the beginning. The color part isn't as bad. It's a little bit of a better framing, so definitely come back for that. But this one, I got the whole thing start to finish. So if you like the real-time full length, like 1x speed, definitely come back and watch that. Because you'll get to see basically the whole thing. But anyway, don't forget to comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'm down for criticism, constructive criticism. Just please, no critiques on my clients at all. I will delete that comment. You know, I care about my clients. No, I don't know. I've never even gotten a hate comment for my clients or me yet, because I only just started posting, but I'm here to protect them. They will be deleted. Anyway, I'm being so mean. I'm so mean. Check out my Instagram at Chromatic Sauce. Check out my website, chromaticsauce.com. If you'd like a tattoo, fill out my booking form. I love to give you a tattoo, especially if it's like this. Give me a little bit of creative freedom, have a little fun. You can always send me a picture of a tattoo that I've already done and be like, I want something like this. And I can, like, if you want this but with roses, this but with like realistic peonies, I got you. Let me know. But anyway, I think that's all I have to say about this. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you. See you in the next one. Bye. It's freaking hot in here.